faculty left double angle bracket faculty of food technology right double angle bracket department left double angle bracket technology of food products right double angle bracket discipline left double angle bracket sanitation and hygiene in livestock facilities right double angle bracket lecture 12 left double angle bracket sanitation measures and environment right double angle bracket Есенқұлова Ж Ж Cand. Of Agricultural Science, ASOC. Prof. Lecture Plan 1. The impact of agricultural factors on the environmental. 2. Example 3. The main cause of soil degradation is soil erosion. Livestock farms, as well as industrial enterprises, pollute the environment. Manure and manure-containing effluents, as well as ventilation emissions from livestock facilities and manure processing and storage facilities, pose a danger to the environment and human health. A dairy farm, for 1,000 cows of average productivity, emits more than 6 tons of carbon dioxide, almost 10 tons of water vapor, a significant amount of ammonia and other gases into the atmosphere every day, produces about 40 tons of manure-containing effluents, and 55 tons of excrement. From ventilation emissions, carbon dioxide is a danger, the increased content of which in the Earth's atmosphere leads to climate warming due to the greenhouse effect. The effluents of a large livestock farm in terms of the amount of pollution are equivalent to the effluents of a large settlement, and livestock effluents are much more difficult to clean than household effluents, since their contamination is 300 times higher than that of urban sewage. Since the problem of using livestock farm waste without harming the environment is associated with the violation of natural ecological links between animals and plants, its solution should be sought in a rational combination of animal husbandry with intensive crop production, which will allow the disposal of waste from these industries with the greatest effect. The carbon dioxide released by animals, released into the atmosphere by ventilation, can be used for carbon dioxide fertilization of plants in cultivation facilities. Calculations show that with intensive photosynthesis, plants growing on 1 m² of a greenhouse consume the amount of carbon dioxide that is released by animals placed on an area of 8 m². As a result of production experiments conducted on a dairy farm for 1,200 cows, it was found that the atmosphere of the coast promotes the growth and development of flower crops. The height of the plants located directly on the farm increased by 11%, the total weight by 60%, and the number of stems by 198%, i.e. almost twice as much as in the control. The energy potential of NH3 and CO2 released by one average cow is 95.3 mJ per day. Significant savings can also be obtained through the rational use of heat generated by animals. Polluted air is passed through a purifier, where it is freed from dust, harmful gases and odors, and fed into the greenhouse. Ammonia, NH3, and carbon dioxide, CO2, released in the cleaner are used for root fertilization of plants. For the same purposes, after appropriate preparation, the drains of the milking parlor are used. The remaining carbon dioxide in the air is absorbed by the leaves of plants. The purified air is fed back into the coast through the heat exchanger. Manure after its treatment in a bioreactor is a valuable organic fertilizer for fields, and does not pose a threat to nature. But the gases released during biothermal treatment are dangerous and should be disposed of in the same way. The influence of soil on the health and productivity of animals. Soil has a multifaceted hygienic significance. It has a direct and indirect impact on the health and productivity of animals. The hygienic value of the soil is determined by its mechanical composition, physical, chemical and biological properties. The impact of agricultural factors on the environment. No other branch of social production is so connected with the use of natural resources as agriculture. After all, the work of a farmer and an animal breeder is essentially the use of nature, the natural environment surrounding us to meet human needs. Agriculture should be considered as a huge permanent mechanism for the protection and cultivation of living natural resources, and it should be approached from another angle of environmental protection. Therefore, in conditions of agricultural production, the use of natural resources and, above all, land should be combined with environmental protection measures. The fruits of human labor on earth are the most necessary prerequisite for the life of every society, no matter at what stage of development it is. In agriculture, land is not only a place of activity and a territorial operating base, but also, above all, serves as a tool and the main means of production. The urgency of the problem of environmental protection in agriculture is increasing in modern conditions, in connection with the processes of pollution of natural resources used in agricultural production, industrial, construction and other non-agricultural enterprises. These pollutants lead to a decrease in soil fertility and productivity, deterioration of water quality, atmosphere, damage crop production and animal husbandry, which leads to a shortage of agricultural products and deterioration of its quality. Environmental problems today are among the most important, and global. Intensive development of agriculture has a significant impact on the environment, which manifests itself mainly in the form of negative externalities. The increase in the plowing of land, the increase in the fleet of tractors and agricultural machines, the introduction of a large amount of organic and mineral fertilizers, the use of plant protection products leads to contamination of the soil, reservoirs and atmosphere with harmful components, chemicals, exhaust gases. Agriculture has a greater impact on the natural environment than any other branch of the national economy. The reason for this is that agriculture requires huge areas. As a result, the landscapes of entire continents are changing. Subtropical forest grew on the Great Plain of China, passing in the north into the Ussuri taiga, and in the south into the jungles of Indochina. In Europe, the agricultural landscape has replaced broad-leaved forests. In Ukraine, fields have replaced steppes. Agricultural landscapes turned out to be unstable, which led to a number of local and regional environmental disasters. Thus, improper land reclamation caused soil salinization and the loss of most of the cultivated lands between rivers. Deep plowing led to dust storms in Kazakhstan and America. Overgrazing and agriculture led to desertification in the Sahel zone in Africa. Animal husbandry is a factor of impact on ecosystems. Unlike crop production, animal husbandry, especially low intensity, can exist without causing much damage to the environment and natural landscapes, and even contribute to their conservation. Example: when attempts were made to preserve the reference areas of the steppe by completely banning the use, such areas often died, being replaced by shrubs, since moderate grazing contributed to their preservation. In the absence of wild herbivorous ungulates. Modern animal husbandry involves an intensive method of farming, detrimental to natural communities. It is based on the breeding of mainly herbivorous animals. Modern highly productive livestock breeds are very picky about the quality of feed. They selectively eat individual plant species. This changes the species composition of the phytosynosis in the direction of the dynamics of this pasture towards less and less suitability. At the same time, soil compaction occurs, which worsens the conditions for the existence of soil fauna. Animal waste products also play an important role in the negative impact on ecosystems. In a small amount, they serve as a fertilizer for plants and a necessary element of the circulation of substances. However, large livestock complexes and poultry farms are places of concentration of livestock and poultry exchange products. At the same time, large masses of manure appear, which is disposed of irrationally. It serves as a source of ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, creates a threat of epizootics and epidemics. Soil is the most important agricultural resource. The agricultural sector is the basis of the life of human society, since it gives a person the main life resource, food, as well as raw materials for the production of clothing, shoes, and many other necessary things. The basis for agricultural production is soil, the main property of which is fertility. The ecology of agriculture includes the study of the impact of human activity and environmental factors on agricultural production, on the one hand, and the study of the impact of agriculture itself on natural ecosystems, natural ecological processes, and on the human body, on the other hand. Crop production, or agriculture, is the basis of agriculture. It is usually associated with the complete destruction of natural ecosystems and their replacement with agrochemicals. The productivity of the agricultural sector directly depends on the state of the soil, but this activity itself leads to the degradation of the soil cover. Nowadays, up to 25 million square meters of soil layer disappear from the Earth's surface every year. The main cause of soil degradation is soil erosion. Water erosion is one of the most dangerous processes for agricultural and it is especially favored by plowing, since the soil, devoid of vegetation and natural structure, becomes very vulnerable to factors of mechanical destruction and displacement. The resistance of soils to the destructive effects of erosion depends on the mechanical composition of soils, their structure, humidity, protection by vegetation or plant residues. To combat water erosion, a set of measures of various nature is used, which consists of groups of organizational and economic, agrotechnical, forest reclamation and hydrotechnical measures. Each of these groups includes several types that are applied either together or separately, depending on the existing conditions. Bibliography: Management and Welfare of Farmer Animals. U4 Animal Welfare Series. Wiley-Blackwell Methods to Analyze Agricultural Commodity Price Volatility, the Production Technology of Functional Food Products from Raw Materials of Plant and Animal Origin. Thank you for your attention. Consultations. Almaty, Reinbeck Ave. 348 Fifths, Building 2,208.